What's going on, family? Thank you for tuning in to today's live. You're locked in with the Coach Smook Network, and I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. Before we get rolling, do me a quick favor. Tap that like button, share the stream out, and if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss any of the action. Now listen, if you really rock with what we're building here, I invite you to take the opportunity to support the channel by becoming a member of the AAA family. Our mantra is authenticity above all. Everything we do, our content and our community, is built on creating and enjoying quality, authentic conversations, real insight, and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly assists in the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar you contribute is not only appreciated, it's paid forward. We proudly make monthly contributions to various community health and awareness organizations because impact matters. If you want to get even more involved with the community, be sure to join our Discord. You can type the command right now in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. And for those who want to support the network directly, you can donate through multiple options: Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. Thank you all for the love and the support and the energy you bring every single time. Now buckle up because it's time to get into the show. Somebody type it in the chat. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's get it.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
What's up, everybody? Let me get to the right view. Let's go. Look at us coming on with the bloopers this morning. Y'all give it up for my doggone chat, man. Y'all give it up for yourselves. Give it up for my team, man. We've been working. We woke up early this morning. The whole team active. Appreciate y'all. We got the show started off today, man. Got it started where we was like 2 minutes late. Got our intro and got everybody in. Appreciate y'all for pulling up from each platform. We see you all pulling. As you come in, make sure you hit that like button, just like the intro said. But today we're going to jump right into the topic of conversations, y'all. I got so much to talk about. I've actually had time to really just allow my body to kind of settle into this working out and physical training and coaching, and now it's becoming a rhythm. It's becoming a schedule. You know, everything's becoming repetitive. So we're getting into our schedule, and now the live content is about to start flowing. As you all know, we already have spring workouts, football workouts kicked off. What they call the fourth quarter program. We've been kind of talking around that and reporting on that. But now we're getting to the countdown, the single digit days of kickoff of spring football, y'all. We are less than 2 weeks away from kicking off spring ball. And then we're getting close to a little bit over a month away from our annual A-Day, Alabama A-Day, where we get to go and as the fans, as the media, we get to view live what the players are putting out as far as the competition level and competing for their positions to be able to impact the outcome of next season. So we're going to get into all that. But before we get into that, we're going to talk a little Bama hoops. We're going to talk, these last two games for both the men and the women. The women's regular season ended with a loss to Texas. We're going to react to that a little bit. Then we're going to dive into the last thriller, Alabama versus Tennessee. What's crazy is, y'all, I fell asleep in the third quarter. I don't know what was going on with my body. I fell asleep in the third quarter, and when I woke up, I was looking at them, Tennessee trying to get the rebound and tip it back in. But, man, it was crazy. I of course, watched the replay. Shout out to LeBaron Follen. Once again, though, y'all, glad to have the win, but this is, oh man, we had so much to talk about. Shout out to for guys stepping up, unsung heroes. What's his name? Latrell Reitzel. Him stepping up. Shout out to him. Give it up for him, Jordan. Give it up, man. Yeah, shout out to him for stepping up. And then we just got to get more consistency from our bigs, man. That's the only thing. I think defensively, I see the effort trying to ramp up a lot better. Just effort has been the difference. A team like Tennessee that can get hot. Alabama didn't allow them to get on a lot of streaks. Alabama had to go on a streak early on in the game themselves, so it panned out good. We'll talk a little bit about that, but then we'll do some reactions before we get into the main topics, which is the college football, what you all come here to hear. We're going to break down some of the NFL draft, the combine reactions. We got a special guest tapping in today, someone that I think is going to be a mogul in this industry as far as being in sports media, representation, media coverage, whatever you like to call it. Can't wait to have her on. She's going to be one of those faces that everybody's going to know in this industry. But she'll be coming on. We'll be reacting to some of the Alabama numbers, some of the reports some of the numbers being reported from the combine for all the Alabama participants. Looking at Ty Simpson's throwing workout, we actually doing a reaction. We got part 1 being posted today. Part 2 will be posted on Wednesday. So make sure y'all are subscribed to the Coach Smook Reacts channel. And we're gonna bring Jaisha Nance on from Sneeze Sports. Y'all give it up for her. Make sure y'all go check her content out too, man. We'll be dropping all her links in the description today, also in the live chat. And if you're watching this post live, make sure you check the description and go support. We're making sure this year, 2026, the Coach Smook Network is reestablishing our network. We got attached to some names and things that we didn't want to be attached to over the past 2 years. We're breaking those ties, and we're venturing off into those lanes where we're going to really start to build a solid brand and solid connection. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. So where we at? We at the 8-minute mark. Can we do a quick roll call? We got a lot of people in the live chat. I want to acknowledge my people in the live chat, man. I know the numbers are still trying to get our numbers back up. So in order for us to get our numbers back up, what we got to do? We got to like, share, and make sure people are still subscribing, man. Let's welcome in everybody that's in the live morning chat here on the YouTube side. What's up, Red? My brother, Big Bama. What's good, man? Good to see you, Roll Tide. Urban Essence is in the building. What's good, sister? Good morning. Zach, what's good? My brother, Roll Tide. Good to see you, Zach. Good to see you. Sully, my brother, man. We getting close, Sully. It's March, bro. Y'all, my brother, we got to have a nephew, right? It's a niece? Is it a boy or girl, Sully? You gotta remind me, man. I got a couple on the way there. Nieces and nephews on the way. Man, it's a beautiful time to be alive, man. Having family, new lives being born. Man, what's up to Kinesis Roll Tide? Good to see you in the chat, man. Roll Tide. Dominique, my brother, my sister, my brothers, my sisters. Can I see y'all in the chat? Roll Tide. Good to see everybody. And then we're live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Kick. So if you're on those other platforms, make sure you tap in with a reaction and show some love today here on the Coach Smook Network. All right, y'all, we're at the 10-minute mark. Let's get into the show, man. Somebody type it in the chat. Somebody say it. Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's get into it, y'all.
You talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
Not going to take us a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just feel sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
All right, chat. We got hoops, man. We got hoops reactions. Let's get to it. I got a couple of things I want to break down. Let's start with the women's, man. Didn't end the season on a high note. A 2-game losing streak to end the season. Something that you don't want to take, you don't take too lighthearted going into conference play, the conference tournament play. With this team going into the conference play, their overall record is good, but to the way that we fared in the SEC, going to overall 7-9 in conference play, finishing under 500 for I think the third time in 7 years, I believe 6 or 7 years. So you're seeing kind of like when there's a transition of leadership and veteran presence, you see the young player presence kind of showcase itself in conference play. Early on in the season, starting off 17-1, had this team push this team's, I guess you could say, their overall resume going into the tournament is kind of padded that resume, but there's a lot of issues to be fixed. And I think we saw some positives in this Texas game that we've been asking for. One, we know that we haven't been able to have the big presence of Essence Cody and Costa for a majority of the season. Well, getting late into the season, the last 2 or 3 games, you see players like Ford Joy and Ibunga Joy. Saw her energy off the bench yesterday against Texas, and quality minutes. I honestly believe, I'm one of the people that believe, like, when you have a team that doesn't have a decisive number 2 or number 3 option on the offensive side, and you got a bunch of energy players, you have to space those minutes out evenly. And I think that's what Coach Curry did to a certain extent. She played her starters for a majority of the game, but those spot minutes, she really had a heavy presence of secondary players or backup players. And they played a lot more confident than expected. Not near the offensive output you wanted from your starters, but to come in and establish another paint presence, or reestablish the paint presence with forcing the ball into Essex Cody against the bigs of Texas. I mean, they probably got the most skilled and athletic front court, maybe next to South Carolina, in the country. So establishing that inside presence, Essex Cody going 6 of 10 from in the paint, 4 for 4 from free throw line, making good getting to the foul line and keeping it a closer game than what it could have been. We talked about the size difference, the mismatches and just height for this matchup against Texas, but then to go in and see the presence of mind to be physical on the rebounding. The rebounding numbers were pretty close, 29-35 in Texas's favor. And those rebounds came on the offensive end, especially when we had our second group in, when a couple of the bigs got into some foul trouble. So you take a few of those runs, you disrupt a few of those a little sooner, and this game could go in our favor being at home. But the women fared very well in this game. I think going into the tournament, I think they'll be going in as a number 6 seed, I believe. So we'll kind of watch that. But I am excited to see how this second group of bigs develop. And I'm talking about Lancia Ramsey, Joy, and then also, what's the other one's name, y'all? I always forget her name. It's not Costa. It's Ramsey. I always forget. She comes in with all the energy. Ramsey comes in, and they both provide a balance of offense and defense in spurts. I think you got to capitalize on that when you're seeing teams being able to kind of, direct all their attention to force the ball away from Jessica Timmons, and Carly Weathers is kind of struggling offensively, and you're not getting to Mia Scott surge, or she's not, her shots aren't falling, she's not seeing the opportunities. Like, you got to find those options that can give you spurts. And I think you're finding it in those bigs that's coming off the bench. They got some offensive skill sets, may not be as well versed on the defensive side, but offensively, it's some offensive skill sets coming off that bench with the bigs. So you don't have to run Cody for 30 plus minutes. Keep her fresh, 24 to 27 minutes, 21 to 26 minutes, something like that, something in that range, and give these energy players opportunities to go out there. And sometimes you might need them to slow the game down, and be able to capitalize, play the numbers game with your analytics. For every 3 fouls, you're getting 9 points off of this player, or for every 3 fouls, you're winning plus 2 possessions or whatever during that time on the floor. The point differential is plus 2. So you got a lot of things that you could utilize going into this tournament. I think they're secure as long as they don't go into this tournament and be like a first round out. I think they're secure in their spot as far as getting into the March Madness and making a strong push. They stay in that what is that region? I want to say they're in the Fort Worth region is where they're being projected to. They stay in that region. You're talking about teams like North Dakota State could be there. That'd be a good first round matchup. Kind of continue to pad that resume, continue to build up that confidence. Get these players that are starting to show some energy, get them out there and let's go. Let's go to men's hoops, man. I'm gonna bring up the stats for men's hoops. Let's go. I got to talk about it because this was a strong showing by the fellas. I know the numbers, and this is the game. This is the type of game I like to see. It's the type of game I like to see that make me believe that somebody's saying something. Somebody's saying something, and it's not all peaches and cream like a lot of these Bama fans want us to believe. A lot of Bama basketball fans want us to believe that this system is so elite and that it's a foolproof championship system. But they fail to realize that games where the numbers, the numbers that don't mean going through the basket when they matter. These are games that I'm talking about. We're talking about rebounds, turnover differential. We're talking about assist numbers. We're talking about the fouls for, per player. Like, this game was the best, I would say, most quality game that we've seen this season from this team. And it wasn't because of the scoring. It wasn't because of Reitzel going off for 25 or anything like that. It was because when the bread and butter or the DNA of what this team is trying to be, right? Up tempo, a lot of shots on the rim, green light threes. It was not available. This Tennessee team, I told you all, they was going to play physical and they play quality defense. That's their brand of ball. They work, their offense is generated through their defense. They just so happen to have Gillespie go off. And as much as I think that he's an NBA talent, I don't think he has that skill set to go off like that every night and not in the SEC. So for us to have that balance of them having a random, not necessarily random, a not too often showing of Gillespie and us having like having that balance. So you have those evens play together, but then you also look at it and you start looking at the numbers. I want to talk about rebounds. Tennessee had 48 total rebounds. Alabama had 30 total rebounds. Right, but I want y'all to look at something. This is where I say the numbers kind of even out. Look at what Tennessee had to do to stay in the game because their shooting numbers were so bad from the 3-point line. They had to attack the rim. They had to be physical on the offensive boards. They won the game in second chance points, right? But what did we do? We limited their offensive possessions. Their defensive possessions, we limited them on the defensive side, and we capitalized with our shooting percentages. We capitalized from the free throw line, the small areas, the turnover battle. We did not lose the turnover battle sizably, 6-10. It wasn't a 19-7 turnover ratio. The assist numbers, quality on ball defense, not allowing double digit. 20 plus assists. Like those games where we're struggling and we've seen Nate Oates' system fail is because we haven't seen the balance in transition. We haven't seen the balance on the defensive side. So to see that effort on the defensive side, and it's coming, a lot of this effort is coming from your guys like Houston Mallett. They're not going to get on the scoring sheet and give you 15 every night, but they're going to get those 4 or 5 tip plays in those 50-50 scrambles that create possessions or take away possessions for Tennessee from the opponent. You got bigs coming in playing quality minutes, maybe not necessarily grabbing rebounds, but good box out technique last night, this past weekend versus Tennessee. But we gotta continue to build on those things and allow what these guys do naturally. I think honestly we have some of the better offensive skill sets in the SEC on the men's side, right? I think we got some of the better offensive skill sets, but because of just that almost freelance 4-high style of offense, right? A lot of guys kind of get boxed into thinking that everything's done around the perimeter. What you see happening now in the last few games, the more that they get shots on the rim, they're seeing that there's better quality presence for those late game threes, those run of threes. This team knows how to go on their runs. I give them that. Y'all, welcome in. Make sure y'all run the likes up. Appreciate everybody jumping into the chat. So we that's a little bit Bama basketball. Where we at? We at our 21-minute mark. If y'all had to think of something that would probably cause this team to slip up coming up, we got a game against Georgia, Alabama versus Georgia. I'm gonna bring the little projection schedule thingy up. And I think Georgia's a sneaky team, especially being at their house. This is a team that they're sitting at right at 500 in the SEC as far as their conference record. A team that gets physical. Like I said, I think they're going to try to rely on the blueprint of what kind of Tennessee played us, because honestly, that was an evenly matched game. Tennessee came out and they played a quality brand of basketball. Like I said, that game was not it was a slow game because of the quality and brand of ball being played. It took Alabama a little bit to get started, went on the run to kind of bring the game back under control, and then just kind of edged it out at the end, continued to scrap. And that's what you want to see going into the conference tournament time. Let me look at this matchup predictor. Alabama versus Georgia. And so I'm looking at this matchup. Do y'all feel like LeBaron Fowler, and I'm gonna pose this question. I said propose. I'm gonna pose this question in the chat for even the VOD. We can clip this. Do you think LeBaron Fowler comes back healthy against Georgia on the road, or is this one of those things where being on the road against Georgia, looking at where we are currently in tournament seed, I think this win lock up a number 3 seed for sure. Still to be open to number 2. So does this win, or does this match up against Georgia with LeBaron Fowler, do we bring him back in full capacity, or do you save him for the closeout game against Auburn going into the tournament play next week? It's going to be some decisions being made, and we're already seeing it. It's sad to say, we're already seeing guys kind of just, clocking out so they can get ready for the draft. It's that type of era of basketball. So hopefully we could get him back full 100%, because Georgia has a guard. Y'all kind of see highlights of him on SEC Network a lot when they talk about Georgia. Jeremiah Wilkinson, averaging close to 15 points a game. They got a forward that's going to get you 10 to 12 a game, active on the boards, going to be active around the rim. I think his name is Samtu Cyril or something like that. Those activity players at home this late in the season, fighting for a position in, they're fighting for a spot in the tournament too. You got to be careful, and you can't let those guys get started early. Jeremiah Wilkinson is a guy that's going to be very aggressive offensively. I feel like Phylon is going to come in and have to really assert himself if he's available. My brother Jordan says, I feel like Phylon will play limited minutes again against Georgia. I'm hearing, and y'all know I'm not a basketball insider, but there are people that actually are connected to the basketball program that follow it daily that I'll conversate with here and there. And there's no plan to dial it back. He's really dealing with fatigue. There's been a fatigue factor. His usage has went up 15% since last year. And we saw a similar type thing happen to Mark Sears. So, and I want to pose this question to the chat too. I'm not criticizing by any means. This is a question. I want your opinion. Does Nate Oates' system has it been favorable to its top scorers? Has it been one of those things where longevity wise, we can confidently say that players come in this system and they get better? I have a few people that support the channel that were in the debate on Twitter that were kind of stating that, the players don't necessarily come to his system and develop in his system and get better. They just, they thrive at what they do. It's kind of like it's a match made in heaven. It's not them actually developing, getting better IQ. It's not the more minutes you get as a scorer in NATO's system, you're going to seem better because you're getting more chances to do what you do well. But are you actually developing offensively? Are you becoming a smarter point guard for the guards that have came through in the system? Have we seen guards in his system go to the NBA and become quality guards that, are mainstays or system generators, right? We don't see it. So I think that's a fair question to ask. I think it's a quality conversation to have, and looking forward, some of the guard play that we're going to see going forward, We talked about the guards at Georgia, but then to end the season, I know we like to give little brother problems, but Auburn, they still have quality players on that roster. Luckily, we get to host them at home. I think the advantage should be Bama heavy with some of the injuries that Auburn's dealing with. But if Hall and I think the young man's name is Pettiford, if those guys end up getting like hot early, and Pettiford's been off this season, I don't expect being that this arrival game, you never know what to expect. And it's the last game of the season for Bama. I want to say it's senior night and all of that stuff, but looking at this matchup, I think we're going to find ourselves in a position where these matchups to close out the season for guys like Phylon, he's going to see opportunities to pad that draft stock. And for him, everybody knows what he can do offensively scoring. I think he's going to find himself in moments going into the tournament, especially conference tournament, these last few games. He's going to find himself in moments where he's able to create the steal, create the amazing pass, create the, get the clutch rebound, the smart timeout off of a scramble, 50-50 ball. Like all of those things, I think that's where you're going to find him. And then with this system, if we continue to ramp up the defensive presence, just the energy and the effort on defense, we can run the table for that bracket that we're projected to go into. And we'll get into that breakdown a little bit more. But without further ado, y'all, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, before we get into our college football topics, we're going to dive into, this past weekend. I know everybody's been watching the combine. We've been, I got to react to it. Like I said, we'll have a video posted, a VOD posted, a reaction VOD on the Coach Smook Reacts channel and on our Coach Smook Network channel. But we have a special guest coming on to join us for a few minutes just to kind of give her take on some of the things that she's observed. She's been following, not just Alabama football, but football in general. She's taken her brand and her coverage to the next level. And we're honored to have her on. We got a special guest coming up right after this message. But before y'all do that, before y'all sit around, don't go nowhere. Make sure y'all like and share. But also take an opportunity to become a member of the AAA family. Join us, become a part of this community as we continue to grow. God is really doing some awesome things with the family, the AAA family, authenticity above all. Take an opportunity just to check us out, y'all. We got some quality things going. This is how you do it. Check it out. Take us there, Jordan.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back. And like I said, y'all, we got a special guest. We got a special guest. And I know y'all love y'all NFL talk. Y'all love to follow the players in the draft, all that good stuff. But we got a special guest. She follows this a lot more closely than I do. And I'm more of a reactionary NFL fan. She's an avid NFL fan, just an avid Bama coverage. Anything Bama, I'm rocking with her. Y'all, welcome to the stage, my little sister, man. She's a growing personality, growing media personality in this industry. None other than Jaisha Nance of Sneak Sports. Y'all give it up for her. What's up, young lady?
How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Tired, but good.
Look, because you always working. You always working. That's a good thing when you're tired from working.
Yeah.
Look, I'm glad to finally have you on. We've been trying to connect since this past summer, right before the summer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, y'all. And she's been doing a great work. Tell the people a little bit about yourself before we dive into this conversation and where they could find all of your content and everything, all of your coverage.
Yeah, so I'm a senior at Alabama. I double major in sport media and sport management. I've covered Alabama football, softball, men's and women's basketball. Changed my major in 2023, hit the ground running from there. I've covered now 2 Super Bowls, 3 NFL drafts, and 3 combines. Just got back from Indianapolis yesterday.
Yeah.
Covering the 12 players that were out there. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. My name is Jaisha Nance, but I go by Sneak Sports. Sneak was my childhood nickname.
Yeah.
And I played sports, so I decided to combine the two and turn Sneak Sports into a media company that is now established under an LLC. So I enjoy sports, so I was like, hey, let me find something fun, because when I first started college, I was studying to be a neurosurgeon in the pre-med program for 2 years. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this every day, Let me find something that's happy, that's fun, that resonates with me. So got back into sports and I couldn't let it go.
That's awesome. Y'all give it up for Jaisha, y'all. This is awesome because one, the name Sneak Sports, that's kind of is kind of how I got my name, like a nickname I had from when I was younger. And the coaching aspect, being an actual coach and always coaching, even in video game arena. So it's funny how your name came about. But to see you just continue to excel, I remember seeing you on the scene probably like a year and a half ago. And just kind of your reporting style is what caught a lot of our attention over here at the Coach Smook Network. So being here today is definitely an honor. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's get into the good stuff. You were in Indianapolis. You was there on the scene. When you look at just the atmosphere and the environment, the players for this year's draft from Alabama compared to what you observed last year, their countenance, their approach to the media, even their overall workouts as a whole, as a group, generalizing it, what would you say was the overall rating on a scale like A, B, C, D, F, however you want to? What was their overall rating as far as just everything collectively as far as representing Alabama?
I'll kind of break it down. So I'll say their interviews 10 out of 10. Now, the only people I didn't get to interview was Overton, Miller, and Cuevas, because sometimes players get held up in medical. That happens. That's nothing they can control. But
Right.
all the other guys, the other 9 guys, I was able to talk to and just kind of stand there and see what they had to say. And they crushed the interview part with the media. They talked about Alabama. They talked about guys that was going to take that next big step at Alabama. They talked about their career and how it's been training and everything, because majority of those guys had minor injuries that people are now aware of. So
Right.
to be at the combine and be able to talk to the media and feel comfortable about that was a great thing to see and to hear. Um, as far as field workouts, honestly, all Alabama guys that participated crushed it. And I think I'll say this draft class as a whole, but this Alabama group as a whole, surprised a lot of people. Coming into
Right.
this combine, this draft class was labeled as weak, soft, and I'm not saying Alabama guys, I'm saying as a whole.
As a whole.
Everybody has been naming this draft class is not that great. And I think it's because we were expecting to have maybe 5 quarterbacks in the first round or 4 quarterbacks like you've seen in 23, 24, 25. That's not going to happen that year, and that's
Right.
okay. But that opens the door and that opens our eyes to other talent. This draft class made history,
Yeah.
including Alabama players. Jam Miller ran the fourth fastest time for the running backs. Uh, Justin Jefferson had the tied the eighth fastest time for
For
the his
linebackers.
position group. Yes, the linebackers. They showed out. A lot of these Alabama guys brought speed. You had Parker running a 4.95, I think was his official time.
Yeah.
Caden, I think, ran like a 5.2, 5.3, something like that. But these guys absolutely crushed it. And again, for them to have minor injuries and some of them not be able to participate in bowl games, like the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl, and then come here at the combine and just put it all out on the line was absolutely amazing. Ty had a really great day, had some great throws. And I know every year people want to bring up the topic. Of course, they're going to look great. There's not a defense coming at them. That's true. But there are all 32 teams and fans looking at you, and this is the week you cannot mess up.
And
A
these
simple
aren't
run.
guys, and these aren't guys that you're rehearsing and going through a passing routine with. This isn't pro day.
Yeah,
Combine is different from pro day. You
it,
know,
it really is.
if you go into combine and you look fluid, and because of the aspect of how random it is, you know, your number can be called. Somebody might have to pull out of an event, and now you're moved up in order in the pecking order. So it's a lot of things still going on. And then you're also having conversations in between reps sometimes. You might have somebody
Yeah,
walk up to you and they're asking about how this is feeling. You know, I see you throwing like this. Is that a news throwing motion? So I think from what I've been able to see from Ty Simpson, I think that's what he's been since he's got to Alabama. That being having the mechanics, having everything up here in those dog and pony show moments, I think that's where his expertise is. And that's why I believe truly once he gets to the league, he's going to be your prototypical system quarterback. Whichever system he gets latched to, that's where he's going to thrive.
yeah, I agree. I believe Todd Simpson will excel in the NFL. I just think the problem nowadays is coming straight out of college, they expect a lot of these guys be ready. And I tell people all the time, I think coming out of college, a linebacker, a wide receiver, a O lineman could be a starter immediately and be a starter for 10, 12 years. Quarterback, that's not the case
Yeah.
because some of these guys go to schools and have never seen an NFL system, have never seen an NFL scheme, plays that the NFL have, and things like that. So a quarterback is way harder to adjust to the NFL than you think.
Oh yeah.
And you're not going to start immediately. You're not going to have success immediately. And I think when you look at Jaden Daniels and guys like Bo Nix, it did set a tone, but you don't know what kind of trainers they had, what all they went through to try to, get to be NFL ready. So you got to stop just pressuring these quarterbacks to be
Right.
ready. And then some of them are undersized. Ty had to add back on 25
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah. And you
Imagine
can
if he
see it.
was
You can see
Yes.
it.
Imagine if he didn't add that 25 pounds. Let's say hypothetically he didn't add 25 pounds. He gets drafted number 2 overall, and immediately the Jets are like, you're starting week 1. And you got to go against this draft class that just made history. Let's say one of the Styles brothers is coming at you.
Come on
You
now.
crushed week 1.
I mean, even shout out to the young man from Penn State. I forget his name. Bain. I forget his last name. But that gentleman ran a 4.8, a 4.75 or something like that. A defensive tackle. You got defensive tackles running
Yes.
faster
This class
times than
is moving.
fast. Speaking
Yes.
of, the safety group in this class. Looking at what's coming out of Alabama next year. I know Damani Jackson is a cornerback. He had a great time. I think he'll run faster at his pro day, of course. But A 4-4-1 is not slow by any means for a corner.
No. And I wish people understand that.
Come on, break it down for them, because they think I'm crazy when I say I used to run a 4-5. You know, like that's not bad. Like 4-4-1 is elite speed. Game speed is 4-4 is like 4-3 in game. Like, so
to me, and I think a lot of other people around the sport could agree, it is common for a wide receiver to run a 4-2, 4-3. A corner 4-4, 4-5. Now, if a corner can run a 4-4 flat or a 4-3, okay, that's great. But it's not bad running a 4-4. And I wish people understand that. They are stockier. They are most of the time have on way more weight than a wide receiver. They're not going to move like a wide receiver. Although most of the time in the game, they are probably going to be covering a wide receiver or are going to be going against a wide receiver. That does not mean, oh, if you didn't run the same speed as this wide receiver, then in the game, you're not going to be able to catch him. Or in the game, you're not going to be able to keep up with him. I don't think
right.
that's true, because film is always going to speak for itself. And a lot of the players get in their head about the 40. And I hate that sometimes a 40 can make or break your draft stock. But we've got plenty of guys that are running a 4-4 and have done great things in the NFL. So
Right.
honestly, if you can play, you can play. A
Facts.
40 at the time, it matters because it's the combine. But when you move into that game, in a way, it really does not matter.
And I think that's why the value of the 40 is only specifically for certain positions. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's cool to be an offensive lineman running a 4-9, but it really doesn't help you, because we're just trying to get you. We're trying to see if you can move people. We're trying to see if you can hold
Yeah.
up a spot. You know, how good can you do that? How good is your foot placement? How repetitive your muscle memory is? All of these things have to play as a factor. A few more things before I let you go, sis, because I want to get a specific topic out here. When it comes to Ty Simpson's evaluation, what are some of the things that you're seeing and hearing and like the feels around where he can possibly land and how it looks as far as his growth and trajectory in the future, in your opinion?
I think right now, places he could possibly land would be with the Jets. That honestly came up midway through the season. And, his draft stock did begin to drop when some of those games Alabama had losses in. But after going to the combine, and even before the combine, something that actually stood out to me, and I don't think I've ever seen it, and it could have happened, but I was on the Jets Instagram page one day, and they made a post about him and another young man. I don't remember the other young man, but for an NFL team to make a specific post,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of conversations around that. And in the caption, they did say, like, this was originally like some other page's post, but they took the time to share it and put it on
Share it,
their
right.
actual Instagram page. I don't think the Jets would be a bad spot for him if they don't do the same things that we've seen in the past, like with Sam Darnold and the other kid I think that is now with the Denver Broncos that is backing up Bo Nix. I don't know what it is about the Jets, but they have, as you can see, Sam Darnold, they get good quarterbacks,
Yeah.
but they don't build into these quarterbacks or around these quarterbacks. Wherever Ty Simpson lands, I really hope it doesn't make his first year like make him look bad. Um, Honestly, I think the best place for him would actually be with the Rams, because we all know Matthew Stafford has to retire soon, but Matthew Stafford is one of the best in the game. So to be able to learn from him and be under Stafford's wing and maybe like 2, 3 years be a starter, I think that would be the perfect place for him. Um, Honestly, last night another thing that popped up was the Browns. Now let me tell you, if the Browns take another quarterback, I might just pass out. The Browns
That'd be
do not
crazy.
need to take, and it's not because, oh, I may be a Shador fan, or the thing is y'all took 2 rookie quarterbacks last year. Do
Come on
not
now.
make it a trend that you are going to take a rookie quarterback
Stop
2
wasting
years in a
these.
row.
Stop
Right.
wasting these
You're not
kids'
wasting
time,
these
man.
young men's time. And honestly, y'all can use that money and put it elsewhere. Y'all need to build
Yes.
that defense. Y'all need to build that offense. Either
Get
go
some
with
wide
Gabriel.
receivers.
Exactly. And oh my gosh, there are some good wide receivers in this class. But you
Yeah.
either go with Shador or you go with Gabriel,
And do you
and
think?
that's that on that. Yeah,
Leave,
but
leave the rest of these quarterbacks alone. Give them a chance to live a little bit,
no,
man.
do not send Ty Simpson over there. Like
Yeah. But
if
final
he
final
goes over
thing.
there,
Go ahead.
no, I would say if he go over there, I might just start a petition.
Nah, we look,
Get him out.
I wouldn't wish that on nobody right now.
No.
That quarterback, Cleveland quarterback situation, that's where they say you go to die. So let's not get no Bama quarterbacks over there.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. But final thing, your star of this class right now from the combine. I expect you're going to be a pro day. I expect you're going to be a pro day.
I believe so. Haven't
Okay.
confirmed yet.
Okay, so the star of the day, in your opinion, and just one player real quick, and just why you would highlight that player. I know for me, I would say it would have to be Justin Jefferson. I think his journey in itself is just a testament of what development can be for somebody. Hearing that he's pushing himself up into that early third round, late second round time frame, that range, that's great because he didn't have a lot of opportunities during his 3 years at Bama. He was very limited playing behind a lot of veteran presence. So I think he really helped himself with his numbers this past weekend. Who would you say?
I'm gonna actually have to go Jam Miller. To see Jam Miller have a lot of injuries this past season and not do what maybe a lot of Alabama fans expected him to do,
Mhm.
and then you go to the combine and you run the fourth fastest time for running backs, and then you go through these drills really smoothly, looking like the old Jam Miller. I absolutely love everything Justin Jefferson did. I actually did a special story on him on my TikTok and Instagram, and it went viral. But those would be the two. But I'm going to have to add Jam Miller to Justin Jefferson because Jam Miller has been through a lot in his career. Alabama couldn't establish a run game this year, and that could have been with play calling or whatever the case may be. But for him to go out there and have a great combine, I think it pushed his draft stock up in the best way possible. And he's made some money for himself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Jaisha, look, I plan to have you on a few more times as we get closer to the draft. I love the way you're doing this draft coverage. I'll be stepping into a little bit of it myself, doing some things. I want to get you tied in with this company called Sports Info Solutions. I think there'll be a quality resource for you when doing a few breakdowns and things of that nature. So, but definitely want to continue to get your coverage of these players as they continue to go through their draft journeys. And I can't wait to connect again. I'm gonna give you the floor. And make sure you just let everybody know how to find you and reach you again, and continue to support y'all content. And y'all, if y'all here at the AAA family where you're tapped in live or you're watching this post live, please go and support my little sister. She is doing something special in this industry. Please go and support her. Let them know where they can find you, SS.
Yeah, you can find me at Sneak Sports. It's here on the screen on all platforms, and John Nance on Twitter. I really appreciate being here today and can't wait to come on again in the future.
Look at her, y'all. She's so professional. I'm gonna be like you one day, Jai. I'm gonna be like you one day. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right. You keep doing what you're doing and really blazing the path. You're a trailblazer, and I can't wait to connect again. We'll talk a little bit more as the days come around. All right.
Yes, we will. It was good being on here.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Y'all give it up for my sister. All right. We'll catch up with you later.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Y'all, Jaisha Nance, Sneak Sports in the building. Y'all give it up for her one more time. Good. All right, y'all. Now, before we get into the phone line topic, I'm going to do my little spiel. But we will do that right after we come back with these messages, y'all. If y'all have not went and checked out some of our sponsorships and things of that nature, y'all need to check out this partner, man. Y'all love y'all draft coverage. We just got done talking about the draft and players. Go check out Sports Info Solutions. I'm telling y'all, they got this software, they got this data analyst base and all this stuff. Y'all know I don't use big words very well, but they got it. and they got numbers that make stuff make sense in the most weirdest way. And if you get caught up in it, like I did, you will be up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning trying to find out scenarios and ways to help your argument when you're breaking down stats and comparisons and stuff. So check out Sports Info Solutions. And also for our phone call segment, want to give a shout out to Walk-Ons for being a sponsor here on the Coach Smook Network, man. They've been really rocking with us. They got us set up for next season. Some things we're going to be doing here on the Coach Smook Network that I know our AAA family is going to enjoy. Y'all check them out, Sports Info Solutions, and shout out Walk-Ons. Take us there, Jordan.
Hold on 1 second. If you're serious about sports, you need more than just box scores. You need real insight. That's why Sports Info Solutions is the official partner of the Coach Smook Network. Sports Info Solutions is my go-to source for in-depth stat analysis, giving you the tools to truly understand player production, tendencies, and performance on a whole new level. From NFL, MLB to NBA, Sports Info Solutions delivers advanced data that helps fans, coaches, and analysts see the game behind the game. This isn't just stats, it's context. Looking ahead to the next generation of stars? Check out NFLDraft.sportsinfosolutions.com for elite draft analysis and detailed prospect breakdown. Make it your new go-to stat tracker. Visit sportsinfosolutions.com today. Now let's get back in the game.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Chat, all right, chat, check it out. Before we get into our call-in segment, I know y'all ready to get on the phone lines. Look, prepare. We got about 8 minutes, and I'm going to make sure I do this breakdown. I'm not rushing to it. We're going to get more detail, but we want to dive into the Alabama football roster. We want to get on the offensive side. We're going to get on the defensive side. We're going to break down wide receivers. We're going to break down defensive backs. And all we're doing is talking about the assets available. A lot of players, a lot of quality skill sets available for this year's roster. And I want to talk about it. I'm excited about it, especially the offensive side. I am so excited about getting the opportunity to see our offense take the next step and become an explosive offense. And when I talk about explosive, I mean Washington. I mean Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, Washington. Like, we got a new offensive line coach. Should see a lot better production as far as the run game being a little bit more balanced in our system, right? I that's what we need to see. And I think with the missing piece is the quarterback. We're going to do a quarterback debate tomorrow. Whole show with the open phone line, so y'all could call in and give all y'all takes. For all y'all people that think I hate Ty Simpson and all this stuff, and that I know everything. We can debate tomorrow. But today we talking wide receivers and defensive backs. Let me get the wide receiver list up here. Jordan, I'm gonna put a screen up here. Let's see if we can get it to look right. Y'all let me know. This one's better. There we go. So look at this list of players available in our wide receiver room. Starting, and I did the list from, the most senior players to the youngest players, the new arrivals. MJ Chigwin, y'all remember he made had a little moment in history. And MJ, you could remove that banner chat with Coach Smook banner for the time being. Yeah. Just like this. Ooh, that look good, Jordan. Y'all give it up for Jordan, man. He been doing the on-screen graphics. Our live production team, they've been really putting it together, man. They've been really doing it. So y'all give it up for them in the chat, man. All right, so MJ Chigwin doing his thug thizzle, bringing it back. Y'all seen him going to the portal. Had some opportunities to go elsewhere and chose to come back to Alabama. I was glad to see him come back because I do think he will get opportunities. He will get opportunities to impact either special teams. I don't see him being some type of impact player, but I think he will provide sparks as far as his leadership, his energy, his dedication as a scholarship wide receiver. Not as a walk-on anymore, as a scholarship wide receiver. Noah Rogers, the transfer. I look at the assets that he's bringing as a 6'2" frame. can play the Z or the X. I think they're bringing him in primarily to play the X position and be in a rotational depth piece with Darian Morgan and Derek Meadows. Speaking of Ryan Williams, where do we see him kind of break through? Does he get put back on the boundary as a Z? As they continue to try to develop him at the slot, where I think he could find the most success and create the most mismatches if he continues to just work through those growing process and those growing pains of becoming an elite receiver. I think he has the capabilities to be him. Get those hands right, get some physicality about your mental, and then Ryan Williams will be in a good spot. Lachier Brooks, Rico Scott, two guys I think are really going to pop off the screen this year. Sophomore Lachier Brooks, I think he's going to continue to just be a demand attention, and because of that, is going to open up opportunities for guys like Rico Scott, Tyler Henderson, the transfer. I think is going to be an immediate impact piece. Darian Morgan, the true freshman, 6'4", 220 pounds, just a specimen. They call him Baby Julio, and it's for a reason. The young man has been putting in work, and you can tell that there's been attention to detail, and there's a relationship being built with that quarterback room between this young group of receivers, with all the young talent that we have and that's joined the roster. There's a relationship being built right now. And I can't wait to see it finally come all together. I think this offensive line is probably the most talented we've seen. We broke down the offensive line and the personnel available coming into this season. I think we're going to see probably one of the most productive group of wide receivers we've seen since probably 2016, 2017. Like as a whole, do we have a 1K reception receiver? I think with this roster, you get Keelan Russell is my guy, and we'll have that debate. Keelan Russell this year, coming in second year in the system, his natural talent, I think he's a 35, 36, 3,700 yard guy without having a fluid understanding of the system. So now coming in his second year, getting those first few games under his belt, potentially Eastern Illinois opening up the season, a couple of quality tests after that week one. I think we see a 4K, almost 5K year from whichever quarterback, but I think it's going to be Keelan Russell. Aubrey Walker, that's my dark horse in this class. Him and Amari Saab. Amari Saab a little bit more on the development side of things, right? I think his natural speed is going to possibly create opportunities, and we're going to see him in some of the pickup time. But Aubrey Walker is a guy I think he's going to find himself in some early spots to get chances. Him and Darian Morgan are going to be rotational pieces. I can guarantee it. We'll break down the rotation in the depth chart as we get into spring ball, some of the things that we speculate as we continue to see footage and cover spring ball ourselves. Let's go to the next group, man. Let's go to the defensive backs. I want to talk about the corners next, Jordan. Let's see if can you put it on screen? Can you move it? There you go. Okay. Look. All right, let's talk about it. This is the group that started the whole trend of young guys being called to start. Jayden Brown, Red Morgan. These guys, true freshman starters. And it feels like just yesterday we were talking about how Red Morgan was popping on the scene in spring ball, showed up and put his, was putting hits on guys and coming downhill. They was talking about his lateral speed and just his open field tackling ability. That was true freshman year. Same thing with Jayden Brown, who was quietly the best of all the defensive backs available in that class. Has quietly been a starter since his freshman year. He's returning. Red Morgan's returning. You coming back with Dijon Lee, another guy that came in last year as a true freshman. Did not play like a true freshman. From day one, looked like a polished sophomore, red shirt sophomore, junior. Get Chuck McDonald, another highly touted 4-star, 5-star in my book. He's coming back. He no red shirt for him. Coming back as a sophomore. They utilized him in a couple big moments last season. Showcase the size, already has the size. And you add some of the freshman talent in Jordan Edmonds and Zion Gibson. I think Jordan Edmonds might make a push to get in that rotation. It might make a push. If you're gonna slide Chuck and Red to that Husky or that Rover position, that nickel corner position, if you're gonna slide those guys there, you might find Jordan Edmonds on the boundary rotational piece like Dijon Lee was. I would love to see Dijon closer to the line of scrimmage. The way that he played in run support last year on the boundary was immaculate. Let's turn this. O'Neal. I'm sorry, O'Neal, the transfer cornerback. I don't know, y'all. I like his frame. I like his footwork. I just don't know if he comes in and makes a push immediately. I think Sherman might have a better chance, but O'Neal seems to have more of the hype. I want to see what it transpires like in live action, because from the feeling, it's not anything. To me, if you're going to let Cam Calhoun go, right, for, and why, if you're going to go and pick up an O'Neal, I feel like you got O'Neal in your freshman. All right, let's go to the safeties, and then we're going to get into the phone lines, y'all. We're going to get to the phone lines. Let's go to the safeties real quick. All right, Mary J, I got you. Sab, Bray Hubbard coming back. Vincey Kirkpatrick coming back. Taylor back. And then the freshmen, Edwards and Kelly. I'm excited about Ivan Taylor getting the opportunity this year. I think him and Dre Kirkpatrick will find themselves embedded in the safety rotation. There at least some type of dime sets with those two guys and their range up top, but also their physicality and open field tackling. I don't think you drop the ball with rotating these guys and giving guys like Bray Hubbard and Keon Sapp opportunities for rest. Zay Mintz, you want to see a little bit more consistency. See him trying to pick up some weight. I hear that they're trying to get him over that 200-pound benchmark, play him at a little bigger frame. You saw a couple times last year he wasn't able to come up and be as physical and run support. Got to get a little bit heavier in them britches, man. And then Ryan Kelly, I think he's the dark horse of this class. I know what we're getting from Jaira Edwards. I think Jaira Edwards might be another Caleb Downs type asset. God forbid that Hubbard or Sapp go down with an injury. Because I think Edwards would get an opportunity right there with Kirkpatrick. I think those two would be the first two guys up. I'm excited about Dre. Been interacting with him a lot on TikTok. Going to be doing some things there. But yeah, secondary looking good. If you had to rate these rooms right now, and I put this in the chat on the VOD clip that I had a brain fart, y'all. Y'all see me glitch real quick. But if you had to rate these rooms offensively with wide receivers, what's your confidence level? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence level? Looking at so much production from last year, kind of moving around. You saw Isaiah Horton hit the portal. He's at A&M. You saw Jeremy Bernard go to the league. You saw some of the guys, Jalen Hill. What's the young man's name, man? The white kid, guys. Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. What's his name? I had to whisper. Y'all know folks think I'm racist, man. y'all know folks think I'm racist. They say I be race baiting and stuff on Twitter. I don't get it. But I forget his name. Jalen Hill, he's gone. I forget the other kid's name. We lost a few wide receivers in the portal. We lost a couple guys to the portal. So good to see them go out and get Noah Rogers, get some more quality guys, get MJ back. Going to see some new faces emerge in the wide receiver room. And then defensive back wise, he's at the whisper, it's crazy. And then defensive back wise, chat, I just think we're stacked there. The main thing is how many juniors we're going to see leave. We know that safety is going to be 2 safeties going for sure after this season. But Cole Adams, that's his name. That's his name, Dino. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Cole Adams. How many DBs are we going to be able to actually rotate? It's so many quality bodies and assets in that room, corners and safety. So, all right, y'all, that's going to break it down now. Topic of conversation. We talked about quarterback play last year. We were very hype on those moments, on those arguments. We had a lot of debates on quarterback play. But when we look at it a little bit deeper, we dive into it a little bit deeper. We can also put just as much blame on the wide receiver room. The topic of conversation is this year's wide receiver room, the skill sets based off what you all see on roster. I know y'all watching y'all film, y'all doing y'all own thing. But do we get better than last year with this group of wide receivers? Or do we see a drop off because of the quarterback play again? Topic of conversation is a good conversation to have. I don't know. Do we see it get better because Ryan Grubb is going to be pass heavy? That's what he's showing us. They say they went and got another offensive line coach and run game coordinator to help out with balancing the offense. And then more so than that, the topic of conversation. Who's going to be the number one target in this wide receiver room? A lot of people think Ryan Williams is on this resurgence, right? A lot of people, I'm one that I believe that is going to be one of your secondary name guys. I think Latier Brooks might be in the running. I think the transfer of Noah Rogers will show his impact early. He's a different type of receiver. Who's going to be Alabama's new number one target at the wide receiver position? That's going to be the topic of conversation here on the Coach Smook Network. Y'all, one more infomercial. We're going to thank Walk-Ons for bringing us into our calling segment. Shout out to Walk-Ons. Take us through there, Jordan.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
At Walk-On's Sports Bistro, the games are on, the food's delicious, and here you are always part of the team. Welcome to Walk-On Sports Bistro, where every day is game day. Whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the fam for some made-from-scratch favorites, Walk-On's is your go-to for good times, craft beer and cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages. From melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online or in the app. Walk-On's Sports Bistro. Game on.
All right, chat, let's get into it. Phone lines are now open. 334-625-1121. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Let's get it. Uh-oh. Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook? Talk to me, man. Hold on, I think I got him in here, y'all. Let me see. You there, Zach? I think so. Let's see. Chat, can y'all hear Zach?
Roll Tide, everybody.
Yep, there you go. Let's get it, chat. Let's get it. We got it. What up, Ken, the Bama fan? Welcome in. Zach, talk to me, man. You heard the topic of conversation first. Before we even get into our conversation, till we get into our chat with Zach, y'all. Give me your thoughts and reactions to this weekend's basketball, man. Alabama hoops, brother. Just I know you watched both games. Give me your women's reaction first, and then your men's games reaction.
I wasn't able to watch the women's game because I didn't have the channel that it came on. But I will say this. I looked at the score and I watched some highlights, and I was surprised at how well we was able to keep up with Texas, knowing that Texas was the more dominant team, the bigger team, just the style of play that they have there and the quality of basketball that the ladies team plays with,
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to the men's. The men, as ugly as it was on the boards, I was very proud of them to fight and show that they're capable of playing defense and scrapping with Tennessee, which was a bigger, more physical team. Maybe Tennessee doesn't have the quality team this year that they've had the past few years, but still, they was still a good team, that was capable of beating us,
right.
And so I was very proud of them. Now I want to go into the topic of conversation. In my opinion, I'm along the lines with you. I agree. It's going to, I believe it will be Noah Rogers or Latier Brooks. Ryan Williams would have to, it'd be on a prove it basis for me. He would have to have the kind of kind of season where he was having in his freshman year in that first 4-game stretch, but for the whole season, you know, not just a small portion of the season, you know, before I could give him that number one go-to receiver type, what's the word I'm looking for?
Type of asset, that number one option. You
Right.
I think Ryan is going to be even in the league. I don't think he'll ever be a true wide receiver one. I don't think he'll ever be the Devontae Smith or the you get what I'm saying? I think he will be a better
Right.
he could be suited better as the Henry Ruggs and Devontae Smith of the Jerry Jeudy era. You get what I'm saying? Even Jalen Waddle was
Right.
number 2 and number 3 for most part of his Bama career, and that's what allowed him to excel the way he did, being the most explosive option, but being the third or fourth option, that just creates explosive. Every time he touched the ball was an explosive play.
Yes, and I mean Waddle didn't really start becoming wide receiver one till his senior year, and then he got hurt, and that kind of thrown Devontae into that row, and Devontae flourished in that row, you know,
Yeah.
and which was great for Alabama because it didn't matter. You couldn't double team him because we had Mechie and other guys, you know, that could go off just as well, you know. So it kind of allowed for Devontae to burn one-on-one coverage and be the wide receiver that he has become even in the league, you know. And I agree with you. I don't think Ryan would be suited as a wide receiver one option. 2 or 3 is better suited for him and his skill set. But Lotsier Brooks proved a lot to me last year with how he was able to come in as a true freshman and be able to step up in big time moments and make big catches in big time moments. I would give, if right now, just going into it without seeing any live action or anything, I would give the edge to him over Noah. But, and that's just right now, just going into it, because he has experience in the system. And yes, Noah Rogers came from NC State, and he was a good option, great player there. But I think they ran a different style of offense there than what we do here. So it'll take him a spring and, you know, fall camp to get acclimated to what we run here at Alabama.
Well, I think so, but also the wide receiver position is truly one of the, in my opinion, is more so one of the it kind of translate across systems. It kind of translate, like you could be a wide receiver at Oregon this season and go to Texas and have just as much quality success. And the reason I say that is because the space eating concepts, vertical concepts, for they're designed around skill sets, right? And I don't think you go and get Noah Rogers just because he's Noah Rogers, because nobody was talking about this Noah Rogers Jackson State transfer or North Carolina State transfer before he hit the portal or before he signed to Bama. I think you go and you evaluate skill sets and you look at how he is able to attack defenses vertically. That's something that we did not get consistently, right, from our wide receiver group last year. Isaiah Horton made some quality plays in certain spots, but the lack of delivery on the quarterback, part was also played a part in the lack of production and explosive. So it's going to be interesting to see how this develops, especially with Sedarian Morgan being a guy that I believe is going to make an early push as a true freshman, but also Aubrey Walker, another Easter gives you lots here, Brooks. And but Zach, final thought as we get the phone lines open up to get another call on today, man.
My final thoughts, I want to talk about the DB room. I think Bray's going to have another big year. Keon Sabb, we need you to work on your execution when you're playing physical, because when you play physical, you throw yourself in bad angles, which allows for you to get beat deep or miss tackles or whatever. So we just need you to hone in on the simple things, and keep the energy, but do it correctly.
For sure. All right, well, Zach, we appreciate you for calling in, man. Y'all give it up for Zach in the chat, man. Roll Tide, Zach.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir, man. Phone line is open, 334-625-1121. Yo, wide receiver number 1. Zach said he got a feeling he think it's going to be that of Noah Rogers or that of Latsier Brooks. I share the same sentiment. I just like the skill set of Latsier Brooks. Even him continuing to pad, put on some nice mass for his frame, is becoming one of those things where you're seeing the size and the same frame of guys and style of guys that excelled with Tua. It's kind of like we're seeing a replica of that, but also you're getting a little bit more height. Noah Rogers being 6'2", Sedarian Morgan 6'4", Derek Meadows 6'5", Rico Scott 6'1", Ryan Williams 6'1". All of these 6-foot guys that you can kind of just place just about anywhere on the field boundary in the slot. They create mismatches. They create trouble for any defense. You can't match up speed. You really have to be able to bracket with a skill set of these guys. And like I said, I think the key to this season, for more so than it was for the past 2 years, is reestablishing the vertical threat. We saw opportunities passed up on last year, and I'm not saying Ty Simpson couldn't do it. He just didn't. And not on a consistent basis. And a lot of times when he did do it, you saw how it could create a stress for a defense when you hit the verticals quick in phase because they're opening up early or you're throwing them open early. Those are small things that we could see improving on our offense. And I think once we see that, we'll see this offense begin rolling. That'll open up the run game because you can't have safety sitting, within 7 to 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. All of that. So it's got to be a progressional growth. You've fired coaches, you've added coaches. It's time to see these things turn over. What time are we at? All right, y'all. Listen, we've ran over our time almost for the show, man. I got to get ready to get up out of here. We're on a tight schedule. If you didn't make it in on the phone line today, make sure you tap in tomorrow during our big debate. We'll be breaking down Alabama quarterbacks and what the whole breakdown, the whole scope of this battle is going to be coming into the spring. What's up, Amanda? Good morning. Good to see you, girl. Good to see you. Y'all give it up for my sister for tapping in, man. She been back in full-time mommy mode with the kids back in school since we got back from the break and all the good stuff. So we got the team stretched out right now. We're working. We're still getting quality production. Jordan, let's go to our final commercial here, the outro commercial. And then when I come back, I'll make an announcement and we'll get up out of here, man. Take us through that, Jordan.
All right, family. That's going to do it for today's show here on the Coach Smook Network. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. And I truly appreciate every one of you for rocking with us today. Before you head out, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who needs to be a part of this conversation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you stay locked in with everything we've got coming your way. We're trying to reach some goals here. And if you believe in what we're building here, I encourage you to take that next step and become a member of the AAA family. Remember, our mantra is authenticity above all. This community is built on real conversations and real insight and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly supports the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar contributed is not only appreciated, it's paid for through our monthly contributions to community health and awareness organizations. So you're not just supporting a YouTube channel, you're supporting a cause. Also, don't forget to check out the Coach Smook merch. We've got hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. It's a great way to show love and support for the network and rep the brand wherever you go. You can find the merch link in our main YouTube page and in the description. Put me in the game, coach. And if you want to stay connected and get more involved with the community, be sure to join the Discord. Just type the command in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. You can also stay connected with us directly for collaborations, appearances, community service opportunities, and business inquiries by emailing us at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com. Our staff will respond in a timely manner. And for those who want to show additional love, you can always donate directly to the Coach Smook Network through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. We also want to send a huge thank you to our sponsors and partners: Walk On Sports Bistro, Sports Info Solutions, Helping Hands LLC, Men of Standard Executive Security, Goomba Bully Killnos, and most of all, the AAA Phantom. None of this is possible without you. Once again, thank you for all your support, the energy, and the authenticity you bring to the space. Until next time, family, stay safe, stay locked in, and when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Catch you on the next one. All right, chat. Hey, listen, few announcements before we get out of here. Tomorrow morning, live 8 a.m., tap in, phone call segment, topic of conversation, Alabama quarterback battle. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk. Y'all make sure y'all check out the channel. Make sure y'all check out all the reactions, all the VODs, shorts, and everything that we're posting. We got our fitness journey going on. We hit day 30 today. So after today's workout, I'll be doing a live stream on TikTok. Y'all come through and show some support. Tap the screen for me. It's absolutely free to help us continue to grow on that side of things. And if y'all want to continue to help the channel grow, again, there are donation opportunities directly. We will be, we're making another transition, not another transition. We're making our transition, the transition this week. So y'all keep us in your prayers. Everything's set up and we're ready to make our move. I'm grateful for the opportunities. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in front of you. Thank everybody for supporting and continuing to help this channel grow. I'm your boy, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media talent. And remember, when you see me in the streets, man, holler at me and say
put me in the game, Coach Smook.
I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all be blessed.
Break it down, every snap is like a coach of the team. Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you'll fail with the fan. They tried to box me in, and I keep it though off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach. That's what they say.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. And boys over there, look at Deontay.
walking out of Walmart. Check, what's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his pod.